To the market-moving news of the week, the Nigerian capital market and business community has been hit with bad news in the last couple of days as the release of unimpressive earnings filtered into the market. The sequence of negative press was further amplified by regulatory sanctions on a number of listed and unlisted companies. We discussed the market-moving news of the week with Olawale Olusi, investment research analyst at Afrinvest. Great to have you with us on the show, Wale. Now, it's certainly been an interesting week. There's been so much bad news. I mean, it's interesting that we're talking about Halloween for tomorrow, and it happens to be the week where we've had like bad news streaming into the market. Obviously, start of the week, Owando was the top story, that $184 billion loss, which completely shocked everyone. And we've seen that. I was saying to you at the start of the show that is this actually possible? That stock has lost nearly 50% already just in a week. Let's get that's crazy. Let's get your thoughts on what's gone on, starting with Owando.
Okay, well, starting with whether it's possible or not, I mean, the fact that it has happened already established fact that it's possible, and of course, investors are really disappointed by the fact that Owando couldn't handle that situation very well. I mean, the market will probably understand the fact that the decline in oil prices affected their upstream business. Of course, the devaluation losses accounted for some of the losses in the downstream business. But the way they go about handling that is the major issue for Owando, in our opinion. And in reports we released, we also expressed opinion that Owando should probably have handled that better by probably issuing a loss warning and probably release the result earlier. I mean, if NSE, for example, is to sanction Owando for the delay of about 7 months before they release the full year result, that will have resulted in about a few millions of naira in terms of fine. But from the amount of loss we've witnessed, about 50% week to date, I mean, I think investors' confidence in Owando has significantly diminished, and I think management should have anticipated that.
And then next, let's talk about FRS asking, ordering Stanbic IBTC to withdraw its financial statements for 2013 and 2014. And obviously, since we're talking about banks, we might as well also mention FBNH and UBA being fined 1.9 billion naira and 2.9 billion by central bank for non-compliance of the Treasury single account. Yeah. Talk about that, the shocking news from the banking space.
Well, I think the issue with Stanbic has to do with, of course, FRC issuing a sanction on them and, of course, threatening to suspend the management. But I think the company is, at the moment, contesting that. What we think is that if the allegations were true, it is good for corporate governance in Nigeria. But until that is established, we don't know where that will end. But I think FRCN is basically out to protect investors. I mean, they raise allegation of concealment and some regulatory breaches, I mean, accounting breaches, again, in their 2013 and 2014 financials. I mean, if that were true, then investors should be happy. But I mean, the decline we've seen in Stanbic is basically investors' first reaction to what they've seen. And for FBNH and UBA, we think that will further drag PAT of the likes of First Bank, who already have an impaired outlook for their 2015 full year performance, at least based on their 9-month result that we saw during the week. And for UBA, who have already had a very impressive performance so far in 2015. Investors are a little disappointed, and we've seen how they reacted with the decline we've seen.
And we've seen those, those stocks taking a hit as well. Stanbic IBTC has gone down 16%, UBA 18.4% week on week, and FM has gone from 5.93 to 5 naira 10. And also there's MTN, and the news about MTN, obviously, I mean, I can just imagine that if this stock was on us, in our market, that we would see significant losses. But obviously on the JSE, that stock has gone down significantly since being fined $5.2 billion by the NCC. So just as shocking there. I wish we could go on and talk about that. I don't know, maybe you can make just maybe one line sentence about MTN. And
all right, I think the major concern about for investor coming into Nigeria about the fine with MTN is the proportion of the fine issued by NCC.
So significant, 5.2 billion.
Compared to their 2014 revenue, that's about 38% of their revenue. I think that should be
Thanks so much for joining us. Let's leave it there. Olawale Olusi, investment research analyst at Afrinvest, taking us through the news that shocked the market this week. Now,